All right, mic check, mic check. Morning Masters Podcast, your host, Main, of course. Across me, I got a special guest. I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself. Please tell the people who you are.
Hey, family. It's your girl, Samantha Avera.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well. This is kind of like in the making. I remember hearing about you a few times through Carlton when I did Fire and Ice. And he was trying to get us up a few times. I think one time he wanted you to come on. I don't think he ever reached out, but I always say timing is everything too to me. So I don't care how much time it takes. Usually when it happens right. I remember last year you was throwing an event and I wanted to do it then, but I think with COVID I kind of fell back from podcasting for a little while because it was kind of weird. I wasn't sure about it, what it was or nothing like that. And it's this small space we have, so I was like, I'm gonna just chill for a little bit. Oh, yeah. But then this year, when I seen you were doing it again, I instantly knew that I wanted from last year. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get it done. So tell me a little about yourself and just tell people who you are, where you from.
Well, my name is Samantha Avera. I'm 32 years old. I'm here from Augusta, Georgia. And
born and raised here?
Born and raised.
Oh, okay.
Born and raised, home of the Musketeers, ARC.
Oh, you're a Richmond girl. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yes.
We're going to get in a little while. No, I'm just playing. Just playing.
Don't
Go ahead. Nah, y'all good, man. I just got remodeled, so it's all cool.
Yes.
So you're born and raised here, Richmond. So, like, tell me some of the stuff you into, like, far as, like, after high school or just growing up. Like, what was you into?
Mostly I'm always been into cooking and just helping out in the community.
What made you get into cooking, though?
Well, I used to cook all the time with my mother and my grandmother, and I feel like when I cook, I feel even more connected to my grandmother since she's passed away.
Interesting you bring up cooking because I have this theory. This is just me now. I'm a guy, so I don't know. But I feel like cooking, I ain't going to say it's a lost art or a lost thing, but people don't cook like they used to. And I say people, I mean women. Yeah. You hear a lot about pasta, but that's, to my knowledge, just like making noodles pretty much.
That's it.
But yeah, like the good stuff I'm talking about. Like, I don't see them cooking that.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is pasta. That's it.
I'm going to give you some soul food.
Well, you went up then. And I know we're going to talk about like just women in general later on, but that's kind of like my mindset, my theory. I feel like I don't know where to disconnect that with. I'm not saying women are less than now and like that. I'm not saying that. I just think that there's some things that I think in society we always look to for women to be better at, I guess. Mm-hmm. And cooking just not one of them sports right now. I'm not saying not better, but it's just the younger, my generation. Well, not my generation because we about the same. So
yeah,
like I say like 20. Like maybe 20 to 30 like now they don't cook it like they supposed to.
They don't. They haven't been raised in the kitchen like that.
Yeah, that's not so raised like being raised in the kitchen. Like tell me about that a little bit. Like when you were younger, right?
Yeah.
Did you like watch your grandma? She made you watch her. How did you? I know you said how it make you feel, right? But like what was that? If you remember like that initial like when you start hearing the stove being on or you start smelling the food, like was it like your reaction to go there and just see what you were doing, to look and see how you started to get into that?
So, to get into cooking, it actually started when I was 9 years old. My mama was diagnosed with lupus, and she just got diagnosed. So, during that time, she used to get flare-ups really bad. And so, she couldn't cook like she needed to. And so, she taught me how to cook by giving me directions because it was myself, her, and my dad in the same household. My other siblings had already got older and got their own families and stuff
like
baby?
That.
I'm the baby.
Wow, okay.
Number 5. So, she taught me how to cook by giving me directions, and I cooked for my mom, my dad, and myself, and I've just been doing it ever since.
And that's kind of like even my nana being younger, her telling me a story. My nana being younger, her telling me a story, saying the same thing. Like it was just more of a responsibility thing and starting to cook for the family type of thing.
Yeah.
And I guess when you had that responsibility, it just like second nature to you to cook.
Yeah.
So I think it may have been disconnect with maybe parenting or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But regardless of the fact, cool. So so after high school, like what's some of the stuff you did after high school? Like what did you get into? What was your goals and what actually happened? I know high school, that's when life hit you after high school. So
now I'm gonna be honest with you. I really didn't figure out what I wanted to do with my life until I turned about 25 years old. Prior to that, I was only working in customer service at Cytel. Then I worked at T-Mobile, and it was when I started working at T-Mobile that I really started to discover, that there's more to life. That's when life really started to hit me. And I worked in the retail store, so I got introduced to a lot of different people from different walks of life, and they just broadened my horizon, and that's what sparked me.
You bring up a good point, and this is not even a talking point that I had though, but I got a friend who raps, and he be on a podcast every now and then, and he got this song called F 9 to 5, and I get that mentality because that's like a newer age mentality, F that job because of maybe way corporate America treats people, and corporate and doggy dog world type of thing, but. You just brought up an interesting fact that I feel the same way. Sometimes I feel like you can grow through a job you have though.
Yeah.
By meeting, especially in retail, you go from meeting millionaires sometimes, and you don't know, and they're not walking around with an M on their head, you know what I'm saying? But you go from meeting people who are very successful, who got a lot of resources, and you end up finding more resources, and you make these bonds with people and these friendships or these connections, and sometimes within that job, that helps you find your purpose in life.
Exactly.
So I get the whole mindset of wanting to work for yourself, but you miss out on certain resources you might can't find if you work for yourself.
Absolutely.
Especially being in retail when you have to talk to people, you have to make an impression on people if you're selling things. So, and like I said, you never know, somebody might come in there to buy a phone or something. I don't know what they coming to buy, right?
Yeah,
and they leave out with your information. They might want to offer you some big job because you sold them a phone. You never know what you're gonna find. And your demeanor, and your attitude is gonna be a lot to do with that. So I know that's something when you said it just now, I've been thinking about that. Like I get that mindset of corporate and how it works, and especially now with COVID going on, people saying that now the companies need workers, and I still don't feel that way. Even though I work in corporate America, I still don't feel that way though. But yeah, I always tell people like I grew through where I worked. So sometimes working somewhere for a long period of time too, you get so comfortable, and you realize, okay, damn, I'm kind of comfortable here. You know what I'm saying? Like that even make you want to grow and be uncomfortable to advance in that career or whatever. So yeah, I'm the same way. I feel like a lot of stuff I got into with podcasting, I wasn't a speaker. I wouldn't talk to nobody. But when you work in retail, yeah, I'm to myself. I'm like, why do you talk to them for? It's just drama. Like you see drama, you don't want to be in drama, so you say to yourself. But when you're in retail, it forces you to grow out that shell, to come out that shell, and then when you start meeting people who matter and who got like these, and they start taking liking to you, you're like, oh, maybe I am a good speaker. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I got something going on where I can't help this person. But when you're not talking to nobody and you just kind of like socially to yourself, it's hard to help everybody because you just to yourself. You don't know what nobody got going on.
Exactly.
I want to speak on this real quick before I get into the actual thing. Like, I know you said you are you're a faithologist.
That's it.
All right. So can you like explain like what does that mean and to you, and what like is that a real word? I don't know. Like I know like we always say stuffologist. I like those kind of words. But I asked you off camera, I was like, do you need a degree? And you was like, no, you don't need a degree. So I ain't know if it's a real thing or not. So can you like tell the people or tell me like what that mean and what you mean by that when you say it?
So for me, I titled myself the Faithologist back in 2019. Back in 2018, I went through a battle of depression, very suicidal. I just lost a relationship, and I just really wasn't clear about the path of my life. And then when I actually overcame depression, that's when God started showing me how to really live my life. Because I had always lived my life the way I wanted to live my life, but it's something about it when you let go and you really let God lead you. And so doing that, you don't always know what the road is going to be and how it's going to look, but you have to have faith and just trust that it's all going to work out for your good. And so I call myself the faithologist because that's how I live my life, strictly off faith. If God tells me to do it, I'm going to go forth and do it, give it my all, and believe that it's going to work out for me no matter how it looks. And I encourage everybody else to do the same thing.
But and let me ask you, like when you encouraging, especially in living in a world like now, I think when we were growing up, it was more, you did things regarding faith, at least like because you were told to do so.
Right.
And now we live in more of a free fall kind of society where like people feel like they don't want to push this on somebody, push that on somebody. So how was it when you being a faithologist and you talking to people? Do you ever get that demeanor for somebody like, I ain't trying to hear that right now? Because I know people like, especially when it comes to like religion type things, people are more rejecting now to hear them kind of conversations based on what they're going through.
Yeah,
I guess maybe they don't have faith. They don't have faith because whatever the situation they got going on in life. What do you do when you feel that like that kind of rejection, or do you still push, or you like let it go?
So what I normally do, I don't try to force religion on anybody. I don't always say I'm a religious person. I'm more spiritual than anything. That's why I always talk about faith. But I haven't really ran into cases that people really don't want to talk about it because I try to make sure I relate to them on their level. And I think when you find that connection piece, that's what makes it more able to receive what you're saying. They don't feel like you're trying to put a book at them or preach
Right,
something on
right.
them.
Cause
It's like, I want to come to eye level with you. Let me help you.
could you have a conversation or like speak with somebody who you got people who say, well, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. Like they might not believe in maybe particulars in the Bible or whatever. They might believe everything, but spiritually they feel connected. They feel like there's a God, or they feel connected.
Yeah.
Are you able to still have like, I guess, meaningful dialogue with people like that as well, or just
Yes.
like okay?
Yes, absolutely.
I always wonder that because I don't get to ask them kind of questions a lot. Because sometimes whenever you have any kind of doubt in religion and faith or something like that, sometimes I notice sometimes people would just shut down because they feel like you're gonna say something that gonna affect, like, disrespect them. I'm not gonna come say F this person like that, but if you have a conversation where like maybe you don't believe something they say or you question something, sometimes people get offended. So I ain't know if like you get taken aback because somebody say this, that, and third. So
No, I mean, everybody has their own opinion, but what I do is I come up with facts of things that I've already been through, and I tell them, this is what I went through, this is what it looked like for me, this is what I would have thought if I would have had my old mindset.
Right.
But when I got a new mind and I started operating and moving in faith, look how it worked out for me. I literally don't ever have a bad day. That's crazy.
Yeah, like even your demeanor right now, you seem like happy. Even when you go out to the car, you seem, and you was lost, so like you seem happy. You know what I'm saying? Like you seem like you in an upbeat mood. So
Yeah.
that's dope. I think that might actually be the thing too about your demeanor, that might push people to be in that direction because you got some people who are always in a bad mood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen that a lot, and that's
the world
that's common.
nowadays,
But
though.
yeah, I mean it's a different time right now. This is weird times.
Everybody's angry. And I want to be a person that's not angry. Life is just too short to be upset. And when you realize that everything happens for a reason, me being late was for a reason today. I don't know what it was. But it was for a reason. I got lost for a reason.
Anytime I'm late, right, I'll be thinking like, if I see a car accident, I'll be like, that could have been me. So I'm good I'm late. I always think like that.
So I don't ever get upset about anything because I understand that all things are going to work out for my good. I probably need that extra 2 or 3 minutes to,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, I always ask my guests this question. I'm trying to get a collection, or I guess a collage rather, compilation of this. I want to ask a question before we get into it. I want to talk about is, what does Augusta mean to you?
Augusta is home for me. I've been here all my life, and I just really want to see us all come together and just, be successful. I feel like a lot of people here have a crab in a bucket mentality. We hear that all the time.
Yeah.
And it really is true. But I feel like I really want to see us get out of that mindset and really just work together. But I love Augusta. It's my home.
Yeah, and I'm happy that you said that. That's a great answer. And also I'm happy that you got events and, you haven't ran to Atlanta to, do what you.
No.
Some people do that a lot, and I feel like you can do it here.
Everybody always do that. Everybody, and I feel the same way. Everybody always wants to run, but I'm like, it's a purpose and a reason that you're in this place. You can't change the world until you first change home, until you first make an impact at home. So I feel like God got me here for a reason. I can't move and do something bigger until I first make a difference here.
Well, with that being said, I want to kind of get into. So you got a organization. I don't know if it's called organization or what I should say, but Morgan's Promise. Mm-hmm. All right. So if you can tell me a little bit about that, like what started that, what does it mean, what it's about, what do you do?
Okay, so this goes back to my depression story. When I got out of the depression, I started to do a lot of journaling. And through journaling, God would just drop different quotes in my spirit. And those quotes I would actually put on T-shirts. And so my daughter and I, we would be in the room, and I would let her help me weed and press the quotes on the T-shirts. And one day she had an idea that she wanted to have a ball for all moms and daughters. And I was like, I don't know, Morgan. I'm shy. I don't know a lot of people. But if somebody else throws one, I'll take you to it. And so in that moment, I saw her just like, kind of get like a little sad, like, okay, mama, somebody else have it, you can take me to it.
Right.
But when I tell you the Holy Spirit was on me for like days, like, Samantha, if you don't do it, she's going to like not believe in herself. So I got my resources together, called my friends, had somebody make me a flyer, figured out what I needed to do to have an event. Prior to that, the event that I had, the Mortgage Promise Mother Daughter Gala was actually paid for 5 years in advance. Let me just backtrack and go.
Wow.
Because listen, I got to tell you the story. So I was engaged, and I spent about $20,000 on a wedding venue, food, photographer, videographer, DJ. Everything was already paid for, and we decided to cancel the wedding 40 days before the actual date. I couldn't get any of the money back. That's what drove me to depression, because not only was our relationship over with, I was embarrassed and I was in debt. And I couldn't get none of that money back. And the lifestyle I thought I was going to have once I got married, that's just not what happened for me. And it just drove me crazy. So all my vendors was like, hey, if you ever decide to, have the wedding again, we'll look out for you. So when Morgan had the idea to have the gala, I forgot all about the fact that I already had people in place that can just take it from a wedding to make it an event. So I put the flyer out there, contacted all of my vendors and stuff for my wedding, and they were like a no-brainer. Hey, whatever you need, tell me the colors, tell me the time, tell me the date, and we're going to be there. So I told Morgan, I said, hey, boo, we're going to do the gala. We're going to have a big party for moms and daughters. We're going to dress up. She was so excited. When I tell you my daughter was doing bad in school, she wasn't doing bad in school, but she was very shy, wasn't really applying herself, didn't really have a lot of confidence. But when we had our event, when she saw me actually believing in her dreams, she became an honor roll student. So
I think, not to cut you off, I think sometimes you don't really understand, we don't see how what's affecting us may be affecting our kids, as well. And to now, like, you battling depression, getting over it, somewhat, and now doing this event, it's like she feels nice now that you feel good. She's seen you come up out of something, so now she's coming up out of it as well. So that's dope.
Because she believed in herself at an early age, and that's why I said, the Holy Spirit was pressing on me so hard, like, you got to do it. You got to show her she can believe in herself. You have to be the one to change that mindset for her. And so I was like, you know what, Morgan, we're going to go ahead and do it. We got the flyer made. We put it out there. We were sold out in less than 30 days. Mind you, in that time frame, I had people that were close to me that was telling me, hey, don't be surprised if you only sell 10 tickets. Don't be surprised if don't nobody really show up. We sold out, had over 300 people, my first event, within 30 days. And that was just off sheer faith. I felt like God told me it was going to be big if I took that first step of just getting the flyer made.
Right.
Then he brought to my memory that I already had an event that I had paid for 5 years ago. I thought it was for a wedding.
But my other plans.
But it was for an event.
That's dope.
And that's why I'm telling you, all things work out for your good. You never know how it's going to work out. But later on, by and by, my grandma used to always say, by and by, you'll understand it better. And I mean, I'm living proof of it right now. I would have never knew that 2016, me paying all that money for a wedding, was going to be paying off for me right now in 2021.
Right.
So.
Nah, that's dope. I didn't even know that's and I don't know. Yeah. Have you ever said that? Like, have you ever posted about that at all? Like the fact that was from that?
No, not really. I mean, I've told people before, in passing, because they always ask, what made you want to have this event? And I tell them it really wasn't my idea. I was paying for a wedding a few years ago. My daughter had the idea when we started spending time together, because when I was depressed, I really had shut her out. I was just making sure she was eating and she was clothed, and that's all I could do, because when you
mentally you wasn't there.
I wasn't there. So when I got out of it, I knew we had to make up for that missed time. And so that's when she had the idea that she wanted to have this experience for all moms and daughters. And
that's a perfect segue, because I was going to ask you, what do you think this type of event that you're throwing does for the relationship with mothers and daughters? And I asked that question. No, I'm not a woman, but I have a sister, and I know that there are times where daughters and mothers, it's a period in life where they don't get along at all. They feel like enemies. Yeah. Mostly when they, like during teenage years, puberty kind of stage, and don't have a smart child, because they feel like, when you're smart and you're a kid, you think you know it all at that point, And then as a mom, if you have mistakes, you feel like you don't know it all, and it's just a lot. It's a lot to weigh there. So an event like this, whether they're young, whatever, I think it lasts for a lifetime.
It does.
I went to a daddy-daughter dance with my daughter, and I was when she was a little younger. I think she was in first grade, and she still talk about it to this day. So she still talk about it. We remember, we see the pictures, we love them. We like that whole day we had. It's just a memorable moment.
It is.
And you get more connected. You know, even if you are connected. But like in your opinion, as a mom, as talking to other moms that have been to this event, what are these type of events, a type of event like this, what does it do for that mother-daughter relationship?
Yeah, I always say I hope that it bridges the gap between mothers and daughters because we're so much alike and our daughters learn everything from us. And so with this event, I hope to just bridge that gap because I see a lot of moms and daughters, like you said, that always bicker and fight. This event is not just for moms and daughters who get along. It's for the ones who are also, you know what I'm saying, drifting apart.
Right.
Because you get to spend this quality time together. You get to create this memory with each other. And it just brings you back to the foundation, gets you back to a happy place. You can always look forward to it every time. So,
and you know, I think that with the event, better with it being done right, and I've seen pictures and I've seen the from the event, so I liked how it was done. Mm-hmm. It's just one of them things where it's funny how you say, because
women love to dress up.
Yeah, and you think about it, like it was supposed to be a wedding, and weddings usually bring a couple together, you know, and then this is like it's like a bunch of weddings in one.
Exactly.
You know.
Everybody get to dress up, get their makeup done, get your hair done. We always say, I want to go to an event. We can just dress up. I have it.
There you go.
With your daughter.
There you go.
Do it. We have a speaker. We gonna feed you good. You get to take all these photos.
And let me ask you,
so beautiful.
I know you selling tickets. You pushed the tickets back just for the podcast. I thank you for that as well. How much are the tickets?
So the tickets are right now $50 per person. 2 and under are free.
Okay.
Yep, and that includes everything, the full experience from 4:30 to 9 p.m. So that's speakers, vendor shopping, photos, food, everything.
And how are you accepting payments? Is it Cash App, cash?
Cash App and Eventbrite.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I didn't tell you this off the phone, but when we get done, I would do it here, but I don't feel like putting no money out. When we get done, I'll Cash App you $100. I want to pay for a daughter and a mom to go. I don't care who you pick, how you pick it, but I do think events like these, to me it's important. I know what I do. I know I want to put on for the city and all that stuff, but in all seriousness, I even asked a few people about going that day, but like some of them worked, and I know they couldn't do it. But I told myself, people I asked couldn't do it. I wanted to donate. I don't care, just so we can go, because I know it's a mother and daughter out there who want to go, and they won't be able to afford to go because they got other stuff going on. So I don't care who you pick, how you pick it, whatever. I don't never have to know. They ain't gotta know. I just want to pay for a mother and daughter to enjoy that time. I think it's very important, because I had one before. I know that what it mean to me.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I wanted to ask you about the people who are going to be there as well. So first, of course, my main guy I want to talk about, Tyrus. What made you pick Tyrus to be the host?
Tyrus is just the life of the party.
All the time.
Like he is going to get the crowd so excited, so hyped. And he has been my friend since day one. Very encouraging, very motivational. Whenever I'm not feeling like I'm equipped to do what I've been called to do, he's that person I can call and he'll be like, sis, get your head back in the game. You got this. Don't get distracted. Stay on task. And he's just that person for me. So I'm just really excited to see what kind of vibe he's going to bring to this kind of event.
Is this his first year hosting it?
It's his first year hosting
So I'm going to tell you, like you said, timing is everything. And this is just me throwing it out there. I'm not putting no pressure on you, Tyrus, but I really am. But I had Tyrus on my podcast last year, and we had an amazing podcast. I loved our podcast. It was dope. If I could put clips out today, I would put a clip out today. And you're right. He's the life of the party. He's a great speaker. He's a great storyteller, entertaining, very, very just a funny, hilarious person, down-to-earth guy. But what he's doing now, and I told him that last year, I was like, yo, you need to do what you do, because like every time you go live, people watching. Like you attract a lot of attention. I wanted him to focus more on the Tyrus Tillman show, or just brand himself, and he would do a little bit and stop, And me personally, me being me, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, all right, well, cool, it's just more for me at this point. But I wanted him to do it, and now to see him go full throttle with it, and like I can't be more happy than I am. And I'm not taking credit. I ain't saying I'm telling him to do it, but I definitely been when he said he quit his job, I knew that finally he see what I see.
Yes, I remember having a similar conversation with Tyrus at a house party we were both invited to, and Tyrus always has a way of making me cry whenever we talk, because he just be speaking that real and giving it to me.
Very moving.
He is, and he was telling me that he was thinking about quitting his job because he wanted to pursue his passion. When he did it, it just motivated me on a different level. Like, I'm so proud of him. And he really is taking off. I mean, he booked and busy.
Nah, for real.
And I love it.
I told him, I said, yo, you got to record that first comedy show. I don't know if he did it or not, but I would even pay for a videographer to do that, you know, for him, because I wanted to just see. I think he could. I told him he could have sold DVDs and he would have made money doing that.
Exactly.
You know, or put on a link for the YouTube, $2. You gonna make that money. Like, you gonna make anything you're missing right now. You are gonna make it back because he's just that talented.
Exactly.
I also want to talk about one of the guest speakers. So you got a guest speaker from the Fair Cleaning CSRA, and I remember doing I used to produce podcasts, and she was on this girl named Conversation with Mo podcast as well. So what? I can't read the curse. I'm not gonna lie. It's Kelly.
Kelly Renee. Yes, Kelly.
Okay.
Kelly Glasgow.
Okay, got you. So and why you chose her as a guest speaker? Like, what does she bring to the?
I just love Kelly's story. She's a mom as well of a daughter, and I think she has a son as well. But just knowing her background of just how she got to the position where she is to become an entrepreneur, her mindset, she's so loving. She's all about her children. I just am excited to see how she's going to pour into us, because she was really close to her grandmother.
Right.
That passed away. And I know that motivated her to, do things differently with her own children. And so I'm just excited to see it. She's also an entrepreneur. She does candles. She cleans houses. I think she does a bartender too.
She did.
Like, she did a lot of things. So I just love it.
I remember being moved by her story as well. When she did podcast with the person, it was an interview style. It was more conversation. So like, it was a lot of cutoffs and stuff. But I remember writing her name down in my book. Like, okay, at some point I need to have her on. So maybe it's funny doing like a podcast with you, because sometimes that brings back to doing a podcast with somebody else I meant to do one with. I want to promote women for a little while too. I want to have like a month where I just do women back to back just to put them out there. I do a lot of guys because we have this rapport basically with sports and stuff too.
Yeah.
But I'll be trying to put on for everybody if I can. The last guest speaker, the keynote speaker actually, Destiny.
Yes.
I'm trying to get my cursor right. Okay, cool.
Destiny Inspired.
Yes, Destiny Inspired. And it says she a woman life strategist.
Yes.
That's dope.
The juggernaut.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And I'm asking you, but I'm still saying as well, like, I think your lineup for the actual event is dope. Having somebody with an inspiration story, and having a strategist, like, we not only gonna give you a story to inspire you, we gonna give you actually real tips and real facts of life to guide you on from there. So yeah, you get the memory, you get to dance with your mom and all that stuff, dressed up, but you also leaving with a lot of information from this event as well.
Yeah.
So what does she bring to the actual?
Destiny is going to empower us all. When I tell you she has the ability to captivate women of all ages and just inspire them on a different level, I'm just so excited for her to speak. We've been friends for a few years now, before she even became a motivational speaker. And to watch her growth, I mean, it has just been amazing. I knew I had to have her on this year. Anytime I have an event, Destiny is always the one that pray. I won't let nobody else pray but Destiny. And so this year I said, Destiny, you have to be my speaker. You have to. She was like, hands down, sis, I got you. And when I tell you, if you have ever tuned into one of her live videos or attended one of her virtual events, the tips and the knowledge that she's going to give you, I'm still looking at my notes and applying the messages she gave me.
That's dope. That's the best kind of notes to get that you just can put to your everyday life. You know, like, you don't have to use it for one time. It's like a multi-purpose use. That's dope. Yeah. So just so we can wrap up, like, with the event, September 18th.
Yep. North Augusta Community.
Let's say 4:40 p.m.
Well, 4:40. The doors will open at 4:30. We will have a nurse there to do temperature check and also make you sign the COVID waivers. But doors will open as early as 4:30. And it's going to be at North Augusta Community Center from 4:30 to 9 p.m.
And when's the last day to buy tickets?
Last day to buy tickets is going to be September 2nd.
Gotcha. September 2nd, last day to buy tickets.
At $12.
$50 per person.
At night.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Well, this was dope. I definitely feel like you're going to have an amazing event. I can't wait to see pictures, videos from it. I know Tyra's going to do his thing. I know you're going to have a blast. I know the women and the girls are going to love it. So I'm just, definitely wishing the best in all your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Now I need your Cash App, though, okay?
I'm going to give it to you. Right. Yay! This is fun.